This is an after-school program podcast.
What key are we in, G?
Way too much dead air. Hello again.
Hi.
How's everybody
We're
doing?
good.
I said again, even though people aren't gonna hear the first time we said it.
No
'cause
one
we
would have
cut them
known.
out. Nope.
Welcome to Paaaa and Shaaaa in the morning.
Welcome.
Our guest, Marlee.
Welcome, Marlee.
What's up?
It's way too early, and PD and I were extremely unorganized that we forgot to tell you that there is no, what is it, handle to the door to get up to the studio.
He was like, yeah, just come up the stairs. I was like, all right. And I was like, bruh. There is no handle on this door.
There's no handle, and the left side of the stairs don't have a rail.
I was scared. It was
Yeah.
like a treacherous journey up those stairs.
Last weekend that we were up here, which is a while back.
5
bad
weeks
to
ago
say?
or something.
Oh my
5 weeks ago,
Yeah.
we were up here and there was no AC, and we recorded 4 episodes, and
Yeah.
it was hot. It was like in the afternoon
Oh
too.
my gosh.
You
It was
just feel
rough.
the sweat the whole
Like
time.
dripping.
Yeah. I remember when we were doing the Tim episode, your Uncle Tim episode. I remember looking at Uncle Tim and watching like his arm, like his
Yeah.
sweat.
Just
But-
gradually get more and more sweaty
the-
throughout
Yes.
The conversation was good, but I remember watching it. I'm like, I feel so bad, but let's keep talking.
I remember enjoying the episode, but also like really wanting to leave.
Yeah. I was like, oh no.
We've got that under control. We don't have a doorknob, but
Yeah.
we have
No.
AC
Hey, that's
for
next.
you.
Hey, look.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
like
good
the
enough
AC.
for you,
Yeah, it's
Marlee?
perfect. It's perfect.
What do you think we are, the property
I know.
brothers?
Although the room was smaller than I expected. Like, I don't know why. This looks like when you're watching it on your phone, it
Yeah.
looks like way bigger. But
Wide angle lenses.
yeah, there you go. No, but I mean, I like
Yeah.
it. I was like,
We're
it
in a
looks good.
closet.
Who was your set dresser?
That was
Uh,
Andrew and
Shama.
Yeah.
Well, primarily, Andrew greenlit a ton of stuff, and then I made all the Amazon purchases. And don't stare at the bookshelves too long, or else you'll notice the flaws.
Notice the Coming to America up there, Planet Earth.
Yeah.
Classic.
This is good. I'm really excited. I mounted that guitar, which you cannot see, viewers. But look at that. All that work. I came in here on a Saturday,
Mount
regular
this
Friday,
guitar.
sweating.
For it to not get in the shot.
I was in here listening to a podcast while setting up the podcast studio, and I was
That's
like, man,
meta.
I'm a real fan. Okay, welcome to the show. Welcome. This is the episode that we get super formal. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Marlee.
Thank you.
Marlee's our guest for today. Marlee is a actress, singer,
Costume
designer.
Things.
Yeah, looking at you
This is
for
how we do
confirmation.
it. So we went from
Yeah.
NBA playoffs to Marlee
Is
is here.
She is.
She is
here.
also, PD, help me out. She is also a woman.
White girl.
Sorry. I thought we were there.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking about this yesterday, and I was like, we haven't had too many women on the show.
You're like, hey, woman.
Well, hey, we've had Ariel on 3 times.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that counts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. And we had your mom on.
Yeah, right. I
There we
forgot
go.
about my mom.
Two
Okay,
women.
you can't forget about your mom.
Anne.
Oh, wait, yeah, Grace and Lauren.
Yeah, and Lauren.
I'm going to get in trouble for
Man,
not mentioning that quicker.
Listen, I'm incriminating myself. When we've been doing the thing. We've been having women on. We've been
I'm just
promoting.
another one through the door.
Welcome to the show, Marlee.
Thank you. I feel like PD's been like asking me for like weeks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been denying him this experience.
Scoot the mic closer to your face.
Closer,
son. Yeah,
okay.
you're good. Yep.
Hello?
Oh, star of...
ASMR.
I Am Fourth. That's another
Yes,
thing. we
you
forgot
were
to
in
Oh
say.
I Am
that was,
Ford.
yeah, that was great.
We what were you gonna say?
I was going to say that you may think that was the first time we ever met or have encountered each other, but that is not true.
Wait a
Not
second.
the tea.
What else did we
Well,
meet?
I think I saw you. Not necessarily met you, but I went to this church one time.
What church?
Couldn't tell you. I can tell you who I went with. I don't know. Are you allowed to say people's names on here?
Yeah.
As long as it's not
you can say their
incriminating.
name. You can say their
Like,
address.
she took me to church. Show. Lauren White. Do you know
Lauren
that?
White, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I was
That's our-
randomly in a show with her in like 8th grade in Greenville, and like we became friends. She's like, "Want to come to church with me?" And I was like, "Yeah." And you're like, she's like, "This guy's preaching. He's like more of a comedian, but like he's really good."
Wait.
Did
I
you
preached
were
on a
preaching.
Sunday. On a Sunday.
No, it was a Wednesday night. It was like youth
Oh,
group.
okay.
Did you go to Planet Red?
Is that
That was the name
the
of
church name?
You were there?
You were there?
I went there
At one
once.
point?
I went there once, and I'm pretty sure
Really?
you preached.
Yeah.
Was I there?
Were you
probably
on
was.
stage?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
recognize. But
That's
yeah.
funny.
And I remember I'd be like, "Oh yeah, this guy's really funny." And I think I looked you up on YouTube at that point. But
Yeah.
I think you only had a couple videos.
Oh, wait, was
That's
that like
very
old
funny.
Shama?
I was in like
Oh gosh.
I was in like 9th grade.
Yeah.
So that was like
Wait a second. Did
long time
Lauren was the
ago.
pastor's daughter? Did
Yeah.
she tell
Yeah.
you that, or was she just calling you like, "Hey, come to my church," and then you just see her dad preach, and you're like, "What is going on?"
No, I like got there because I mean I kind of thought her dad was gonna preach, and she goes, "All right, this guy who's preaching, like, he's a comedian, but like, it'll be good. It'll be good." And I'm like, "All right, yeah." And
I remember
don't
I
remember
used-
what it was about.
I used to
but
have
it's
to
good.
preface my sermons just to be like, guys, let's just try to divorce this from like what you've seen me do.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's gonna get real confusing
People are
right
getting-
now if you're like, oh shoot.
And my favorite bit was after Shama would get done preaching and be like, "Hey man, nice set.
Nice set.
I'd be like, dude,
Your closer,
I had a
dude."
Bible.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, that's crazy.
Yeah. so
Greenville
that was
is
so
small.
Like
Yeah.
That's I keep
Yeah, it
on
was
telling
really
people
long
that, but I'm
time
like,
ago.
Greenville, like you can't hide.
Yeah, you can like know everyone
Yeah.
through other people.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
crazy.
that's awesome.
So how'd you get on the I Am Fourth?
You just like DM'd me. I think you had worked with
Oh.
Abby, and obviously that's my best friend.
Oh, yeah, Abby
And then I
recommended
think you said, "Yeah, we needed someone like a little grittier, like a little darker."
What did I
And
say?
you saw my
Yeah.
Billie Eilish Halloween costume.
Chase was the one. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, we just need someone to like. We just need. Yeah, we're looking for someone. And he was like, oh, you should get her. She was Billie Eilish for Halloween. And I was like, that's it.
I was, yeah. That was my probably my most iconic Halloween costume. Although the Halloween before, I was post Marlone.
I saw
so
that.
was
It was
like
awesome.
that's what started it all. And then the next year, I'm like, I gotta go bigger. I gotta make it better. And then I dyed my hair blue for Billy, and then I did like the black tears.
Just for the costume?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like I dye my hair like random colors anyway, so it's just an excuse. But it turned green after that, and like I wasn't a fan. So
Why does that?
I think
Listen.
it's like the blonde with the blue.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I remember when somebody was explaining to me the intricacies of dyeing white hair, and I was like, there's math involved. There's like,
Plus
there's
science.
ratios, there's science, and then it can
Chemistry.
just not. Yeah, like Lauren was saying, like, oh, I was going for like a brown, and it went black, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how did you?
Shout out to Annie.
I'm like, what happened between the what you wanted and what you got? Like,
Color
what
wheel
happened?
got
Yeah.
very mixed up.
Anyways, hit up Annie Bachman for all your hair dyeing needs.
Yeah.
It might be a little darker than you want it.
A little bit, but come on, it's
But
what
it's close enough.
Yeah.
It's not blonde anymore.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always think it's very funny when people ask about opportunities and, oh, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? And I'm like, it is usually 110% of the time another person.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Well-
There is no magic to this as much as it is like, how'd you get... Well, we asked somebody and they were like, you should get her. And we're
Yeah.
like, hey, you, come do this.
And we have historically made fun of NGU people.
Yeah.
But then
yeah.
we like
Perfect.
ended up being friends with a bunch of them, and I'm like having to rethink my NGU stance.
Well, so, I mean, I've been friends with like Zach and Zach
Yeah.
and who's went to NGU and
Yeah.
Mason and a bunch of
I
other guys.
only know one person, except for Sabrina Sutton. It was Sabrina Sutton and this guy.
Why are you saying first and last names right now?
First,
dude?
middle, last, social security
I don't
number.
have beef with Sabrina. We cool.
Yeah. I just think that's so funny.
But it was her, and then a guy who was a complete opposite. It was like the closest thing I've ever met to Barney Stinson in real life.
Oh.
Did you watch How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Is this? Don't say his name. Is this? I think I know what you're
It's
talking
the
about.
person I worked with.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So like, always drank like 15 beers a day or something.
and then
like,
he'd go back to campus.
Yeah, like,
Was he wearing a suit the whole time?
I hope so.
I
I
hope
don't
he
know.
should have been.
I only saw him at work. So,
Oh, dang.
but it is funny how we end up working with people.
Yeah. There's just no rhyme or reason to
Yeah,
it, really.
like-
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, how'd you get discovered?" I'm like,
Abby was
now-
completely out
posted
of
a
the
pic
blue,
on
right?
Insta.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think Evan. I don't know.
Yeah,
H.
Hamlin. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, Hamlin.
Oh yeah, EH.
Yeah, he's the one who told us about
Ham,
Abby.
yeah. So I think that's how.
Eham.
Yeah,
A
Abby.
ham.
Yeah, so he
ham.
told us about Abby, and then we, for some reason, just didn't even get an audition. We're just like, all right.
Nah, we're like,
oh,
she could do it.
Yeah,
Bet.
you. And then Chase, I
successful.
found out he was a pro wrestler, and that's why I started
So
talking to him.
that's
And that's
like-
all you needed
Yeah,
to
that
know.
was it.
You know, it's very
Like,
frustrating.
we actually have a need for that right now.
Yeah, we're like,
pro
we're actually-
wrestler.
No, I just
Shaaaa
ended up
doesn't like
talking to him for like 3 days.
Oh yeah, I love Chase.
I
think he's
remember
hilarious.
I was talking to a casting director one time. It was like a meeting that my agent at the time set up. They were like, "Hey, you're gonna go meet with this guy and just talk." There's nothing involved. Just like it's just a general meeting, and they call them generals or whatever. Or I don't know. I don't remember what they call. And this guy had casted a bunch of stuff. And he was like, "Yeah, there's really no reason why we put people in things."
That's so
it's like
great to
you just-
know.
So discouraging
And,
as
dude,
an actor, right?
He was like, yeah, I've seen people who were great and like killed, multiple auditions, but then one person, a producer, would be like, she looks like a girl I dated in high school, and that's it. Like the difference between you
Yeah,
being like
that's
well known
Great.
and like your career thriving is just somebody looking at you and be like, they look okay. Come do this thing.
All right, come on.
So
Come on.
Marlee,
Come on.
I'm like,
we'll
what
make
the,
it happen.
what the
It's
heck?
like,
And then I do the same thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
I
like
get
It's
it.
a dangerous game.
if you want to make it in this business, just don't make sure you don't look like the ex of the person who's casting
Hey,
you.
guys,
Yeah.
if you take anything away from this episode, it's that. It's just really, really,
Don't
really
look like
Yes.
another person.
don't look like anybody's
Yeah.
ex. Yeah, so I guess was that a good enough introduction, Marlee? I don't know what else to say about
Yeah,
you.
no, I mean, there's nothing to say about me. That's why I was like, PD was like, why do you want me on this podcast? Like, I have nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I listened to, you just did the one with the lady who's on America's
Yeah.
Worst Chef, like cooks. I'm like, I
Yeah.
have never done anything of this magnitude.
But before she did
So-
that, she went on our show twice.
Okay,
So,
so I was like, I don't know,
so
yeah.
this is the precursor to you
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
To my
yeah.
big
show,
break.
yeah.
To you,
So just hit
oh,
me
and by
up.
the way, Ari won Best
Yeah,
Cooks
she
in
did.
America. She
Oh,
did.
she won?
Yeah.
She was the.
Oh my God.
Is the what did we
She
say?
won-
The
Worst
best
cook.
worst
Yeah, the
cook
best
in
one. She won
America.
like 20-something thousand bucks. Or like, yeah, it's an awesome prize that they gave her.
Really?
Like a bunch of kitchen stuff.
Do you know what that means? Was that when we
She had to
her
keep
on
it
the
a
show,
secret.
she knew that she won.
Oh my God.
And
She didn't
couldn't tell
spoil
us.
it.
Yeah. Hats off.
Wow.
Hats off.
That's
she really
awesome.
did. I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd be like, you gotta
Like-
watch to the end. Like, you can't,
I would
can't
be
do stupid
throwing the
stuff
money
like
out of my
that.
pockets.
He's like, by
Yeah.
the way.
And by the way, I mean, maybe you'll see me in the last episode. Like, wait a second, what does that mean?
Buy yourself something nice.
Yeah, when you leave, she like slides you like each a 20.
That
I was like,
hey,
why was she
why
fanning?
didn't we get a
Why was she fanning herself with a $100 bills? That was ridiculous.
And now we'll have to post this as a clip and tag her in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Be like, we
Ari
know your
won.
secret.
Ari won and didn't put on a great poker face on this episode. Well, yeah. Okay, you go to North Greenville, which is a
Yeah, I have
what
a
is it? Is it
semester
a
left.
is it a Baptist?
Yeah, we're part of the Southern Baptist Convention. Which, okay, did we talk about Southern Baptist tea in this podcast? Liberty University
Yes.
I'm not Baptist.
he got fired. But
Hey,
that's
we don't
the end of
have. We don't
that.
have
Wait a
skin in
second.
the game.
Who?
The Liberty
Oh
University.
yeah, Jerry Falwell.
Yeah,
Right.
finally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Nobody sees his belly button anywhere.
the-
Am I gonna get called out? I'm scared now. I should not have said that.
hey, for the record, as unprompted, you're saying this.
I was like, we didn't
This is
ask
all
for
you.
this.
Wait a second. So he was the head of the Southern Baptist Commission? Or
No,
whatever?
he was the head of Liberty University, like the biggest like private university in
Okay.
the country, and he's always been like, let's think of a good way to say this.
Problematic.
Yeah. And so I think he finally got like,
He was also the guy who had
Fired.
like a bunch of like politicians and stuff come speak at like Liberty and
yeah,
stuff.
like
So, yeah, I mean we won't
Yeah,
name, but it's one of those things where it's
exactly.
like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And preachers and
here?
sneakers. That guy got there
Really?
too.
preachers and sneakers.
And
Well,
he's
we got to
supposed
do
be
something
anon-
controversial, man.
Come on.
He's supposed to be anonymous, but you can't do a live panel and keep your anonymity.
Yeah. Wait a second. So what was his thing? Wait, it's like the video they just blur him out,
Yeah.
right? So then, but in person,
But they brought
all
him there?
Probably took pictures of him. Yeah.
yeah.
Dang.
So
That's
Just signed a
ridiculous.
release form
I
or
don't know.
something. But anyway, North Greenville, yeah, it is.
What are you taking?
Yeah, like what? What's
What are
my-
you taking there? Like, what are you?
Well, I am. Well, obviously, theater is my major, but specifically, it's musical theater. It's my
Major
track.
Major theater.
Major theater. So, with theater major, because it's so small, like I'm still taking gen eds. Honestly, like I have earth science this year, my last semester of college.
Earth science.
Earth science in a lab's like my only 8 a.m. I've ever had in my whole college career, and it's like my last semester. Then I'm taking like camera acting, directing, advanced costume design. So yeah, that sounds like a joke, but I mean it's great.
Earth Science sounds like a sick band.
Yeah.
What's the cool lame ratio at NGU?
Cool lame. I don't know. I don't like talk to a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
It's really
Oh,
it's
so
weird.
so that means it's huge.
It's giant. Like
Yeah.
I like me in high school versus me now, and like it's sad, but I am a lot less antisocial than I was. But I think it's okay. I think it's part
You're
of
a lot more antisocial?
yeah, I think it's part of like growing up though, like not really caring if everyone's your friend anymore, and just being like,
Yeah.
I have my people, I hang out with my people now. You know?
Also, college is like is weird because I feel like in high school y'all have all the same things in mind, right? And a lot of stuff in common, and y'all are going, y'all are taking the same classes. But in college, you meet somebody like, oh, what are you taking? And they're like, oh, I'm a blah 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 blah, and you're like, I didn't even know we had that
I didn't know that
here.
existed.
Sorry, and yeah, it's just,
apparently we
it's
have
the
like
gap is
animal
wider.
science. I'm like, I've never seen
Y'all
an
do?
animal on that campus. We have animal science. I was like,
That's
alright,
ridiculous.
but, yeah, I've never seen a
Yeah.
single.
Man, I went to a Bible college, and dude, the
Holmes.
cool. I wasn't gonna say his name, but sure.
We've mentioned it so many
Wait,
times.
where did you go?
Holmes. It's up here close to, what is it called? Like Furman. It's like
What's
Cherry.
it called? Vermin.
You know where Furman?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the only, the big
Yeah.
university.
I remember
Yeah,
you
we're like
we're next
behind
to
there.
You like spoke on their behalf at College Park one time, I think.
I did.
Yeah. Like
I probably got
they had-
conned. I was probably get out. I was Daniel Kaluuya, get out. But yeah. So I remember like there were people. And it was a small school. There were probably like 70 students total on campus. And I remember just like quickly after being there, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah. Some of you guys, I'm just gonna have to say hi to you beginning of the semester, and then
And never again.
ignore you, which was very hard because there was only 2 set of stairs and 1 elevator. So it's like you were bound to see someone anytime. Yeah.
And now, I mean, we exclusively talk to people that we schedule on the show.
Yeah.
So if you don't come on the podcast, we don't
That's
speak
it.
to you.
We don't talk to you.
So,
Ever.
and that's now we're at a point where our friends or people that we know will ask our friends, hey, can you get me on church stories? We're like, you make it sound like there's order.
We're not that bad.
I feel like
made-
if you've been to church,
Yeah.
you can come.
Yeah. We made Marlee stand outside on a metal staircase.
Yeah, we're just waiting.
Staring at a door with no knob. Are you kidding?
A door with
This
no
is an
knob.
exclusive club.
It is really interesting to have like a whole relationship with somebody that basically it only exists publicly, but like I really feel like I'm friends with like Jonathan Wright, for example,
Yeah.
is a person that we've had on the podcast like 4 or 5 times. I think 5 times. And I mean, we text and stuff. We've only met once. We had
Yeah.
lunch. He like drove down from
Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
From Danville. You know, he lives in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So
No. I thought he lives in. Oh, did he move?
Yeah, he lives in North Carolina.
You might need
I'm
to lift your
pretty
mic
sure.
up some.
I might be wrong.
You're good.
I'm probably wrong, but, but
yeah,
like,
that's it.
all of our conversations have been heard by people.
Yeah. I will say though, I think one thing that's very interesting, which you mentioned, Marlee, is how you went to a church that you don't even remember the name of.
Yeah.
Where I feel like I keep on saying this, and I feel like I've said it on the show before, but I'm like, there used to be a lot of pride with like, I'm gonna go to First Baptist Church downtown under the big steeple, but now it like doesn't even matter.
No,
Like,
it's like, I went to church.
Yeah. Like I went to a church. I went to a church for like a year, and then Grace and I got married, and then we went to that church. I did not know what the denomination of the church was. Finally, they were like taking up some kids offering for like missions, and they were like, we're doing like I don't know, it was like the Choo Choo Mission Express. I don't even remember what it's called.
What?
I don't even remember. But anyways,
You
Grace
just
was
have
like,
to go to like makeup example.
yes,
for
the Choo
kids.
Choo. It's the
Choo Choo Mission
It's the
Express.
Choo Choo for a cause or whatever, something dumb like that. Hey, that's gonna be our nonprofit, a Choo Choo for a cause.
Choo Choo for a cause.
But and then Grace, like, she looks at me, she was like, this church is Assemblies of God. And I was like, what? What? And then they were. Yeah, the whole time they were. And I was like, what the heck? I just didn't care. It's like, you really do follow your friends. Like, I followed a friend. I'm an adult. And I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Very
I'll trust
interesting
it.
stuff. We're going to read an email on the show. Is that
All right.
okay?
Yeah,
Wait a
sure.
second. Do you
I'd love
have a church story, though?
I've been pondering. I did think
Don't
of,
hurt yourself.
I thought of one.
Okay.
I thought of one. But it needs a little bit of backstory. So I I guess I'm still famous for this. Famous in my family. For like leaving things for trips, like forgetting a bunch of things like for trips. Like one time I was in the 8th grade and we had this big like trip to Myrtle Beach for the Junior Beta Club convention. It was exciting. We went to medieval times.
That was probably like the biggest moment of your life at that point.
Yeah,
right?
it was a big deal. It was a huge deal.
What is the Beta Club? Is that like the?
I don't know, dude.
It was like you were smart
You were
though,
in it,
right?
but
Because
you
my
don't
brother
know.
was in the Junior Beta.
But like I never made
My
it into the
sister
real
was.
Beta Club in high school. It was just the Junior Beta Club in middle school.
So whatever happened in Myrtle Beach, they were like, "Yo,
They're like,
let's she ain't advancing."
She ain't it. But well, honestly, the story. Well, this isn't my church story. This is the precursor to my church story. I left my whole entire bag, all of my stuff. I just left it at the school.
Wait a second.
I didn't have a single item with me.
How did you not
Wait
know
a
that?
second. So you only had one bag.
I had a duffel bag.
You had
Nike
one duffel bag.
red duffel bag, and I left it in
You
the
left the
lobby
whole
of the middle
duffel
school.
bag. Like usually people leave like a bag with like shoes or like a purse. You
No,
left
it
the
was
whole bag.
thing, whole entire thing. And
Wow.
I get there and I'm looking at, like, we get to Myrtle Beach and I'm like looking around at all the bags and I'm like, my
Wait a
bag's
minute.
not here. And they're like, what? So I just I chilled for that weekend.
So were people loading bags on the bus?
Yeah, there was a whole, I had a confusing experience. I thought, see, this is, learn your lesson here. Don't trust boys for nothing. Because we were like putting them in like a pile, and then apparently like the boys were going to like put them on the bus for us. So I was like, all right. I was like, put my bag in. I put it in the wrong pile because they never got it.
Golly.
They never moved it.
Those boys.
Those
Boys.
Those 8th grade boys. Can't trust them for nothing. But anyway, the church story. My church group is going.
Hold on. I just got back up.
It's like, yes, I forgot everything.
Did y'all
every
like
single
swing
thing.
by like Dollar Tree and get you like a terrible toothbrush? Like what
some
happened?
I
Did
didn't
you
even get to go. The teachers went for me. Like went to Walmart, and I was like, all right, I guess this is my
bought you
life
like a
now.
tracksuit?
They're like, yeah, you're gonna wear this now, and I'm like, okay,
Really?
yeah.
Were they like mad?
They were like, girl, you stupid. And I was like, I didn't know because
that's funny.
I was known as being a responsible 8th grader at that
Yeah.
point, and I ruined my
And
reputation.
You're on the mecca of nerd trips with the
Yeah,
Junior Beta
exactly.
Club.
I'm like,
to Myrtle Beach where the waters are nice and green.
Yeah.
And it was in like February. We couldn't even go and swim. It was like February.
Do you know why you went in February?
It was cheap.
Exactly.
We would go in November and swim.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was called
yeah.
the Polar Plunge.
We called the
Oh.
pool. Yeah. Not the conference. That was what we called when we went to the beach. Yeah. We
Yeah.
went to
I was
the
like, that's a
Polar Plunge
thing.
church conference.
It was like a badge of honor to freeze in that water.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
But the thing was, I remember I never did it because I was like, the walk back to the house that we stay at is really far. I'm like, so you're not only are you like going in cold, but then you're running back wet and cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Like
dude,
a mile.
Significantly worse
Yeah.
than
but
just
if you
being in
follow
water.
Parker Batson, he
Yeah.
knows where the hot tub is.
Oh yeah. They'd break in another. A lot of this
Risky.
podcast is very incriminating.
I know.
But if anybody from Myrtle Beach is listening and you happen to manage a
The
think it's
mayor
like a
of Myrtle
sandals.
Beach is gonna come for you guys.
mayor.
yeah, there's
Mayor.
like,
I feel like the mayor of Myrtle Beach just rides around in like a golf cart.
Yeah, he don't care.
Even long distances. I don't care. Long distances, this man is.
He's like an hour trip golf
Yeah.
cart.
Okay, so your church trip.
Yeah, so we're going on a mission trip. But it was
in our
stateside.
favorite rocket ship. Sorry,
Don't worry, it was stateside.
Going on?
Don't cancel me. We were going to Kentucky. So I remember
You always go to Kentucky, man.
Kentucky means Jesus.
How bad is Kentucky?
I think the poorest white people are in Kentucky.
Really?
Maybe I'm making
Really?
that up.
I don't want to like make broad generalizations.
the poorest
but,
That's what we
Sorry,
do want to
Kentucky.
hear.
but I think it was like the Appalachian area.
Yeah.
So
Did you say Appalachian?
is that not it? Appalachian?
Appalachia.
Yeah.
Appalachia.
That sounded fancy.
Yeah, we're going to Appalachia.
Appalachians. Yeah.
So we were going there, and I remember having a bag, packing it at my house, and then being like, this bag isn't gonna fit enough. So I take out my stuff and I move it to a new bag, and I grab the new bag, and I'm going to Kentucky. So put it in the van. We're going to Kentucky. I get there. I realize I've forgotten something essential. All of my underwear.
Oh.
I forgot all of it.
Oh.
Literally, and I was like, what am I gonna do? I can't. What am I gonna do? So I forgot it all. It's not even like I forgot the whole bag. It's like, no, I forgot. I got everything else. I got, like, I got my water bottle, got like my bathing suit, my go-to, everything, but no underwear.
Yeah.
And
in that situation, do you just use the bathing suit?
I was like, I don't want to tell anybody this.
That's a r/bad women's anatomy.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to tell anybody. And we were like 30 minutes from a Walmart because we were like in the middle of nowhere. So I was out here. I'm like, okay, see, the Lord prepared me for this because all of my shorts have built-in underwear. So the problem was resolved by my own self. So yeah, that's how it went down. I didn't really wear any. So
how was?
They had underwear in there. It's like I wasn't being like risky. It's like they had. It was built in, so it's perfectly fine. Like, it's meant to be that way.
You sound very defensive when we didn't say anything.
Ladies,
we haven't made our comment yet.
Please, female listeners, if you've ever gone on a trip and don't message, don't tell us. Don't tell us about it.
If you'd like to be in a support group with Marlee,
message Marlee.
Hey,
don't tell us.
Yeah.
Message Marlee. Be like, just say same, girl. That's all you got. That's all you got to say.
No, but like it was meant to be like that. They had made the shorts that way, so it was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, I guess, that's my church story.
If you want to join the I Lost My Underwear support group.
I'll probably get
headed
email
by
list.
Marlee.
They meet Monday nights after AA. Man, what was it? So I remember packing and unpacking so much when I was a kid, just because we traveled and we were missionaries everywhere. And packing and unpacking, I remember my dad thinking, like, you have so much travel experience. He would tell me that all the time. Rest in peace. And I'd be like, K? And then, like, after being in college and, like, traveling with other people, especially, like, traveling with my wife, I'm like, you are, like, I'm like, you are, like, I think at one point we were traveling, I was like, hey, get it together.
Get it together. You are the worst at this.
It's probably like a honeymoon, too, in Italy. where that's the extent of how mean I will get, is I'll just be silent for a while. I'm like, hey, get it, hey, let's work on this. But yeah, then I'm like,
that's something so general to be bad at. Traveling. It's like, what do you mean traveling to like the grocery store? You're bad at that too.
You're like, no.
It's like you're always like,
well, I'm like, no, you
keys.
pack spares and you're like, you set the clothes up and you're like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or however long you're gonna go. I don't do
that. That's what I took 2 trips to Shaaaa, and I loved that I could just be chilling on my phone and all I have to do is like walk behind him. And he takes care of everything, like navigation-wise.
You need an extra charger? Boom.
I'm like, hey, dude, I do. I got like the battery pack. Like,
all I'd have to do is Venmo him, like, what, half of the Ubers and half of the food.
That was it.
That was just chilling.
I got down to a science, but I will say the person who has it is even better than me. Is a guy I used to work with. His name is Alex Reynolds. He's been on the show. Yeah. And I can't remember which episode it was.
A while ago. I don't remember. It was like first 10 episodes, maybe first 20.
Yeah. He traveling with him, man. It's like traveling with like a robot because he's like. I remember at the Atlanta airport, he's like, "All right, we're gonna go to this Chinese restaurant," which I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, it was bad. I remember that.
Yeah, and he was
all
like, "We're gonna go down,"
blah,
blah, blah, and we just got there, and then like he's got like a pocket of like knickknacks, and then he's got like a bag of like dongles, which are just spare cords, and I'm like, dude. I need to get like you, so I've been slowly collecting
like,
stuff.
Dude, we're here for 12 hours.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He's like, I'm gonna get a yogurt, a parfait. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Let's round this corner. I'm gonna get a smoothie right here in the Atlanta airport. I'm like, what? It's crazy.
I made the decision on our LA trip to never look at how much money I was spending. I would just see you I would see the Venmo things from you, and I would just swipe, and like I would just see your name and swipe, so I wouldn't have to look.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm enjoying this. I do not want to know how much money I'm losing every day.
So much later.
Hey, you just traveled across the U.S. and
I did. Like, I went on like a cross country road trip.
Oh, that's why you kept saying no to the podcast, right?
I was in Montana.
Hey, did your phone work? Gotcha.
Yeah, no, it was really awesome. I'd been to Seattle before, and I'd been to like Portland, Oregon, just for like a little bit of time, but I haven't seen any of like the West. So it's crazy. Like, man, the landscape of the United States is very diverse. But it was awesome. Like Montana, it was really, really pretty. Kansas sucks.
flat,
Hot
right?
take.
That's what my grandma told me. It's just like completely flat.
Sorry, Dorothy.
Guys,
Your home sucks.
People from Kansas, if you're listening to this and you want to defend Kansas, comment on the post where we announced this episode.
I'm gonna get hate mail.
You're from Kansas,
After all this.
and confirm or deny whether or not it sucks. 'Cause
Okay,
we wanna
specifically
know.
driving through Kansas sucks. I'm sure there are lovely people in Kansas. but
So I remember
driving. Wrong.
Andrew and I had you and Abby come over to do some vocals for some songs we were working on, and it was right after your trip, and I was like, how much of it, because I saw your pictures and I was like, oh, they looked joyous, and I was like, how much of it was like, yay, we're traveling and I'm taking a picture next to like the state sign or on the highway, and how much of it was frustrating? You were like, oh, it got frustrating real quick, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I expect of like road trips.
The first day our spirits were high, we were so excited. I hadn't
got your hand out the window doing that wave
it was
thing.
like a music video the whole time. I hadn't seen my boyfriend in 6 months, so it was like the first day I like saw him after like that, so that was exciting. We were driving him across country, but then after that
old.
It was it got old, like being in the car, and I couldn't drive. It was stick shift, so I was literally the passenger, and I was not allowed to sleep because I had to like keep everyone entertained basically for the whole time.
You
like
couldn't
choose the
sleep?
music. No, he was like, "Don't sleep. I gotta drive," and I was like, "Okay." So I was just in the front seat.
You see, that's.
I think I slept once out of the whole like 56 hour.
That's sleeping while someone else drives. That's my spiritual gift.
Yeah.
Do that all day. Hey, but let's check out an email.
All right.
People send us emails, and we've decided to.
Did you get my email?
Yeah, I did. Oh, this is
you
important.
actually sent an email?
Marlee sent an email.
I said Petey. I said.
Actually, this isn't.
What's
This is
the email?
not Marlee. This is somebody else by the
Someone
name
else.
of Marlee Daniel. The subject says exposed Marlee Daniel tea, which is different from Marlee Daniel. What you need to know,
Oh, no.
and the tea is London Fog Latte, which is a mixture of Earl Grey tea with lavender and oat milk. Enjoy.
Tastes like a bowl of
That's-
Fruit Loops. It's incredible.
Yeah, my father-in-law's
Wow.
been telling me about making this tea. I've got like the frou different version of that I just mix with milk.
That's
I was like,
that's the
whatever.
tea that has been.
That's the
exposed.
tea.
I
The
said,
tea.
what was it? I said, we read emails, and she's like, I'll send an email. Like, let's
Your email
What's the
read.
email?
This email is called Homeschoolers Start a Youth Group Cult.
Yeah,
What?
this is gonna be controversial.
We're gonna
Why-
let you read it.
Why are
Myron.
the titles of all these always made me go like, what is it?
Well, they have to like get you.
Yeah, I wonder if people are like, I hope they gotta see my email.
Yeah.
I gotta
make
put the
it this
craziest
As soon as you
subject.
said lemonade laxative last time, I was like, whoa, what?
Oh, I loved that one. That was funny. All right. Do I read who it's from or do I just
Yeah, you
start?
say who it's from.
Dox 'em.
This is from Tad Taylor. Hold up, I might know this kid.
Really?
Oh no, at the end it says it's from Savannah Taylor. Maybe she's using someone else's email.
Oh, okay.
All right. Dear Shelma and PD, I'm a huge fan of the show. I've listened to every single episode.
Hold on.
She needs a badge.
Whenever I
that.
hear that, I'm like really grateful, and also like kind of scared. I don't know
You're
why.
like,
For them.
why? Another thing, anytime someone says dear and somebody's name, I just automatically envision them writing whatever the rest of it with like a quill
But
next to like a candle. Dearest.
if somebody
Circular.
did that, they would be in the Church Stories Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
They sent in
We're gonna drop it. We need a PO box.
some calligraphy
Yeah.
written letter.
Every episode, thank you. Why? First of all, why? But thank you.
That's great. Okay, I wanted to share a church story from a few years ago. Be prepared. The following story is very cringy. I need to give some background. Our youth group was very nerdy at one point. Called out, honestly. My sisters and I have all been homeschooled, so naturally, we were the biggest nerds in the group. My sister was a seamstress at the time, and she made full-size Lord of the Rings cloaks.
Wow.
As a fellow seamstress, good for you.
I thought you were about to say,
That's
as a fellow Lord of the Rings.
I've actually never seen Lord of the Rings,
Wow.
Hey, me neither. Me neither.
I haven't seen him in years. So.
but that's intense. All right, these cloaks were woolen, very heavy, and almost every kid in the youth group owned one, including the youth pastor. We wore them everywhere, literally. Naturally, people assumed we were part of a certain cult that was in our area. I cannot count how many times we had to assure people we were not a cult.
That's not good.
I know, like how many times?
So this really cements a thought that I just had, is that you know when you're like in high school, middle school, high school, you're not allowed to know what cool is, because once you have an idea of what something cool is, that's all you do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you're like, we can make Lord of the Rings costume.
That's our thing now.
I'm never taking it off. And you're like, no, it's fine.
It's
yeah.
like, no, it can just be like, you like watching the film.
Yeah.
You can sometimes get a group together and watch the films together.
Right.
It's like,
That's
no,
what I do. That's like when
we
you
cosplaying all day.
when you compliment a kid's shoes, then every time they see you, they're like, hey, see my shoes? I'm wearing my shoes again. You're like, shut up.
I'm wearing my fast shoes.
Yeah, I'm wearing my... You're like, yeah, those shoes make you fat. I wish I had fast shoes like that. That's it. That's all they need to know.
That's all you know now.
They sleep in them. Changes their mindset.
That's great. So we were not in a cult. We went to a camp every year, and once the camp owner was asked by another youth leader why so many kids were wearing cloaks. So they're in Kentucky. They're wearing their cloaks.
Wait, were they in Kentucky, though?
No, I was just adding that in.
Oh,
Because,
I was about
we
to
all
say.
be going to Kentucky.
If they were in Kentucky, I'd be like, yeah.
The owner replied, oh, they're just a local cult that we have here every year.
Oh, my gosh.
Here's the story. We went camping in the North Carolina mountains one summer. Of course, everyone brought their LOTR cloaks.
That is the acronym.
While hiking that day, they were hiking in these cloaks. Part of our youth group came up with the idea, which we thought was epic, emoji that looks like this.
Oh, okay. Eyes up for the listeners.
Yeah, it's
the
like-
eyes up.
Wait, they
emoji.
sent an emoji in their email?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the first, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we wouldn't sleep in the tents. We'd just sleep in our cloaks around the fire.
What?
Not only that, but we would have a watch. Like everyone was assigned a certain hour of the night, they had to stay awake and guard the campsite. We thought we were so cool. Not very far into the night, I began to realize that sleeping in a folding chair is not comfortable. Others began to get very tired, but we still kept on schedule for the watch and determined to stick to it. But the night was only going to get worse. ...
No. Hey guys, tune in next week to read the rest of the.
Yeah. Well, so when this started, for some reason my mind went to, they're gonna find another group of people in cloaks.
And they're actually going to be in a cult.
Yeah.
I like the idea of sewing, the Lord of the Rings cloaks, but then having to rely on modern technology like a camp folding chair.
Yeah.
And
And
we're
also,
like, this is fine,
are
but
they
let
in
me
a
get a juicy
dangerous
juice.
area? Like, who are they? Are they actually need to guard a campsite?
No. That's part
We're
of
in the North Carolina
the
mountains.
the immersion, PD.
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
They did get in character. All right. Around midnight, it began to sprinkle rain. We chatted around the fire about how pleasant summer rain is. But the rain got harder and harder. My youth pastor calls us all into our 15-person tent and tells us we can't sleep in the rain. I was disappointed. Laughing, crying face. Emoji.
Yeah.
I thought anything would be better than being stuck in a tent with a bunch of sweaty teenagers. The tent collapsed, and in the chaos of that, I snuck out and went back to the fire. Nothing was going to make me sleep in a stuffy tent with a million other people. The rain was so hard, we were soaked to the skin, but me and a few other kids kept the fire going all night long. I slept maybe half an hour at best, so there our little band of hobbits stood in the pouring rain around the fire in our elven cloaks. My sister was the smartest of us all. She put a bathing suit on and a bag over her head.
She put a bag on me.
Like that's the most ridiculous thing I've read. So I was like, no, they were wearing clothes before
everything
that.
you've been saying is the most
I know, like
ridiculous
a
thing ever.
She was in danger.
We were chatting about how pleasant the summer rain is.
I love the way she wrote this. This is so good. I forgot to mention that a kid in my youth group had thrown up on the church bus, which I saw like a tweet about this. Why were there so many kids in like middle school throwing up in class? That was the thing.
I would like
how many times in
I
your
feel
daily
like-
life are
I
you
feel
at
like-
work and someone's throwing up?
People who are anti-vax and people who are pro-vaccinations both have a strong stance on that. They're like, it's because of this. It's because I don't know.
It's like they just.
But I remember it was
throwing
like
up all
a
the time.
rite of a kid would throw up every day. Like if it was like if there are 10, like a group of 15 or more kids, somebody has to throw up.
Someone's gonna throw up,
Yeah.
and then field trips are even like higher percentage wise. Like,
Yeah.
so throwing up on a field trip, that just has to happen. All right, he threw up on the church bus. We could not take. They said we could not take no refuge. We could not take no refuge in that dry and warm vehicle. I should mention at this point, we still thought we were so cool. The people in the tent fared just as bad. They were sleeping in about 3 inches of water. The next morning, we went to Cracker Barrel. Thank the Lord, we left our cloaks in the van. We walked in looking like drowned rats who crawled out of the sewer. I believe that was the moment we realized we were not cool. We got back to church, it was Sunday, and our parents would be there to take us home. We arrived late and the service was still going on. We should have ran.
Yeah, we don't read these beforehand, so you're fine.
We should have ran at the moment. Of course, this was going to be the Sunday. A guest speaker goes an hour long. Kids were sleeping on the chairs and under the chairs in the sanctuary. We were soaked, sleeping, and obviously ready to go home. The man showed no sign of stopping, but at least we all got a nice long nap before heading home. The end. But there was a P.S.
Yeah, what is the PF?
I'm glad to report the cloak / I don't know what this is, but I guess I'll read it. The cloak / LARPing days?
Yeah, LARPing.
What's
Live
that?
action
Okay.
role play.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where like if you've seen
no
people
idea what that
downtown at the park in like medieval-ish costumes
Oh,
with like, all
okay.
the swords and
LARPing.
stuff.
Yeah, I've never heard of that in my life. Cloak / LARPing days are long gone. We no longer resemble a cult, and we go out in public. Thank you for reading this email. Keep up the great work, guys. Savannah.
But who's keeping watch? Who's keeping the fire going in the rain now? Savannah.
I know.
There's a lot. In
Don't
there.
give up on that.
There's a whole lot in there.
Yeah.
LARPing.
Meaning you said that with the same vibe of like a grandpa who just oversaw everyone opening up Christmas gifts. There's a lot in there.
He said there's a lot to unpack.
There's a lot in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as that's concerned.
My favorite part is somebody saying, "Oh, that's the local cult."
That's the local cult. Yeah, they come here every summer.
Yeah, it's the
Now-
children. The
And they
guy
keep
with the
letting them
children.
come
in the
back.
No, you
cloaks.
know. Now, anytime somebody asks me about a group of people, I'm just gonna say, hey, you mean the local cult down the road.
I think that if I saw a grown man leading a bunch of children with cloaks, I would call the cops.
Yeah. I think we had that like a what was that? What was that documentary about the cult in I can't remember
Which
the name
one?
of it. My bad,
There's a
man. Yeah, I
handful.
gotta be more specific. These
Yeah.
things are Netflix turns them out every other day.
Oh, happy something.
Yeah. Wild or something.
Wild Country.
Wild Country.
Yeah.
They're like, I think we got a wild country scenario going on. You gotta love their dedication, though.
Yeah.
I mean, how many kids were in the youth group for the Seamstress to sew all those?
I know.
Yeah.
That's
Or
a lot
was
of
it all
work.
like a bring your own BYOC situation?
bring
bring
your
your own
own.
cloak. Like maybe they all just gathered what they could find. Like some kids made out of like half a towel, half like
Yeah.
a bathrobe.
That was definitely the youth group text. It was just BYOC.
BYOC. Bring your own cloak. But yeah.
That's gonna be the title of the episode, BYOC.
Yep.
And then people have to listen all the way to the end to get what
figure
is
out
the BY? What does the C stand for?
Yeah.
Cigarettes?
Never.
That's a different episode. Hey, we always end the show with praise reports. Praise report, Marlee. That's just something you're thankful for.
Oh man.
Or excited about.
Lots of
Or
you
stuff.
looking
wanna
forward
plug.
to.
Want to plug? I was like, I got this EP drop. No.
Yo.
No.
Marlee Mar.
Marlee.
Check it out. It's dropping. No, I'm super thankful for like I mean, this was kind of my last like summer at home with my parents, and obviously
Yeah.
it was a long one, but it was just really great. So I'm like, gonna move back into school pretty soon, and then
You live on campus?
Yeah, I do. So my parents work at school, so like I'm not saying like I'm going to be
okay.
far from them or anything. They work there, so I get like good tuition paid for.
You also live on a homestead.
I do. We've got goats. So like, I've just been super thankful. Like this whole like, you know, quarantine, obviously it's been hard, like for a lot of people, but I got to, like, I'm very thankful I got to stay with my parents in a beautiful place, and we live like on the top of a mountain, and we've got goats and a garden and all that stuff. So
Y'all should
I'm thankful for my
Airbnb
parents.
stuff out.
If you watch this, Mick and Marlee Daniel, I'm very thankful for you, and I love you. I'm gonna miss you when I, you know, grow up, I guess.
Yeah. You're not gonna make us feel bad. No, your dad watches these. Hey, I'm thankful for PD's dad.
Scott and Sherry, if you're
Scott
watching.
and Sherry, if you're watching.
Thanks,
Jacinta in Marema in Tanzania, if you're watching. You got more stuff to do, better stuff to do. But if you happen to be watching this,
Lauren,
I'm thankful for you.
If you're listening, no, she says she only watches the clips.
Yeah.
She's like, I get enough.
I put the best stuff on the clips. That's all I need to see.
Man, yeah. Grace told me, she was like, I got back home a couple weeks ago. Grace was like, hey, I just listened to an episode of the show. And I went, why? And I'm like, the bit is that you don't listen to them. Yeah. That's how I get away with so many things. If you start listening, it's going to ruin
I would never.
I would be accountable.
If I saw someone like almost every day or live with them, I wouldn't listen to their podcast.
You don't listen to podcasts. No.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama
Like,
has a
listen to you all
podcast.
day.
You know darn well Barack's not
Barack
listening to
don't
that. He's not listening to that.
Yeah, he's had to listen to that for the past 10 years or however 20 years. I don't know how long
It's
we've
just
been
his
together.
birthday.
What's your praise report, Pada?
Oh, I get my car back on Sunday.
Oh,
Yay.
God bless.
Yeah, finally.
Great.
Shout out to Lauren for being my chauffeur.
Yeah, shout out to
Nice.
Lauren, aka Ubus Droppers. My praise report is that my son walks now, guys.
Oh,
And
it's gonna be trouble from
your
here
son
on out.
turned-
he
one.
is. He did turn one. And now he walks directly up to the toilet and puts both hands in the water.
Oh.
So he's getting too curious.
It's a pro and a con.
Yes.
He's learning. He's learning the wrong things. we have to lock all the
His
doors.
sin nature is really coming
He's
out
like, I just want to
Yeah.
wash my hands.
Yeah, and I'm like, right motive,
Now,
wrong
like,
execution.
You got to keep him out of trouble, and you got to make sure there's nothing he could get
Yeah,
into.
I-
That's got to be scary. Right?
I went from dad to now I'm just the lifeguard.
Yeah. So my mom.
No
told
water,
me-
no water around. I'm a lifeguard.
Yeah, we got
Guarding
to
his
wrap
life.
this up.
Yeah.
I'm realizing now, but I used to like hop up and try to climb out of my crib,
Yeah.
and like she said that she found me. My head was stuck in the baby gate because it was a little bit off the ground, so I couldn't climb over that too because I would also climb over that. So I tried to get under.
Dude,
Oh my.
I'm telling you, kids, when they start walking, first of all, they look like little drunks.
Yeah.
Amanda made that observation, Cecil's wife. And then also, yeah, kids are like low key, always trying to hurt themselves. Low key emo. My son will like put him on our bed, and he's always trying to
He's like,
dive
"Let me jump
head
off."
first, and we're like, dude, no, but he doesn't, and then he'll cry because he's like, just let me hurt myself, dude. And you're like, stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, little baby steps, literally.
Little baby steps. That's a rapper.
Little baby steps.
Oh, he's rapping.
Little
Yeah.
baby steps. Hey, dope. Hey, this has been fun, Marlee.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for leaving
It's
the
been
homestead
great.
to
Absolutely.
come
Yep,
join
gotta
us.
make journey back there. Right
Yeah.
now
Tell the
on
goats we said hey.
horse and carriage. Absolutely.
We gotta have you back on, and next time we have you on, all three of us, BYOC.
Yep. Absolutely.
We'll put the air on like 65.
Yeah.
And we'll record a whole. Hey, if somebody does send us cloaks, that we will record an episode of cloaks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been fun. Cool.